this video is about the product rule of differentiation. Alright, so the product rule of differentiation is taken as dy by dx, which is the differential of a function labeled y, equals u, which is the first function, times dv by dx, which is the differential of the second function, plus v, which is the second function, times du by dx, which is the differential of the first function. Okay? Let's do this example. So it says differentiate with respect to x. This is our first function. We have negative x cubed. Okay? And then in the parentheses we have another function. So we could let u equal the first function, which is negative x cubed, and v equal the second function, this one inside the parentheses, which is 3x to the fourth minus 2. Okay. Now, we're differentiating u with respect to x, so this is going to give us du by dx, and that will equal to my negative here. And if I take the 3 to the front, x, then I subtract 1 from this exponent, and I get 2. So this is du by dx. Okay? Let's differentiate this part now. I'm differentiating v with respect to x, so that would be dv by dx. Alright? I have my 3 here. Then I'm going to differentiate the x to the fourth part. So I bring the 4 to the front, have my x, and I subtract 1 from this exponent, and it becomes 3. Remember, when you differentiate a constant, that is 0. So this is it here. Okay? Let's clean it up a little bit. 3 times 4x cubed, that is just 12x cubed. So this is dv by dx. Okay? Now, we want to differentiate this entire function here. So we are differentiating y with respect to x. So it becomes dy by dx, and that equals to u dv by dx plus v du by dx. Okay? So u, here is u. So that is negative x cubed times dv by dx. Here is dv by dx. So that is 12x cubed plus v. Here is v. So that is 3x to the fourth minus 2 times du by dx. Here is du by dx. Okay, so that is negative 3x squared. Alright, so let's simplify it a little bit. So dy by dx is equal to negative x cubed times 12x cubed. Negative times positive, that is negative 12. X cubed times x cubed, that is x to the 6th. Because remember, when you're multiplying and the bases are the same, you add the exponent. So 3 plus 3, that is 6. Okay? Alright. Let's come here now. We're using this first term to multiply this term here. So positive 3x to the 4 times negative 3x squared. 3 times negative 3, that is negative 9. X to the fourth times x squared, that would be x to the 6th. Again, we're adding the exponents here. Okay? And then negative 2 times negative 3x squared. Negative times negative is positive. 2 times 3x squared, that is 6x squared. Okay? So let's see if we can clean it up a little bit. Now, dy by dx is equal to, these are like terms, because we have negative 12x to the 6 minus 9x to the 6. Okay? So these are like terms. So negative 12x to the 6 minus 9x to the 6, that would give us negative 21x to the 6. This is the only term there, plus 6x squared. And this would be your final thing here. Okay? Alright. Let's look at example 2. Example 2. Here we are. It says y equals 5x squared e to the 3x. So here is one function. So this part we can call u. Okay? And this part we call v. Alright? So here we are. So u equals 5x squared and v equals e to the 3x. So du, we are differentiating u with respect to x. Du by dx is equal to, here's my 5, and then I'm going to differentiate the x squared here, so I take the 2 to the front, x, and I subtract 1, so that is 1 here. But x to the 1 is just x, okay? So this is 5 times 2x, that is 10x. So this is du by dx. Okay. Now let's differentiate v with respect to x. So dv by dx equals, whenever you're differentiating e to the x, you're only bringing the coefficient of the x in the exponent to the front. Okay, so e to the x, when you differentiate e to the x, that is just e to the x, because the coefficient of the x here would be 1. Now the coefficient of this 3x is 3, so I take the 3 to the front, and this would be e raised to my original exponent, which is 3x. Okay, alright. So I'm differentiating this entire thing now. So it is dy by dx equals u dv by dx plus v du by dx. Now u, here is u. So that is 5x squared times dv by dx, here it is. So that is 3e to the 3x plus v, here is v. So that is e to the 3x times du by dx. Here is du by dx. So that is 10x. Okay. So dy by dx is equal to 5x squared times 3e to the x. That would give us 15x squared e to the 3x. And 10x times e to the 3x, that is just plus 10x e to the 3x. Okay, this is your final answer here. But oftentimes they tend to simplify it, meaning they factor the thing that is common to all the terms. So let's factor our greatest common factor here, dy by dx. We realize we can get a 5 from 15 and from 10. So we have a 5 here that is common. We can get an x from x, and we can get an x from x squared, so x is also common. We can get e to the 3x, that is common in both cases. So this is e to the 3x. Then we have our parentheses. Okay. So 15 divided by 5, that is 3. X squared divided by x, that is x. E to the 3x would take out each other. Okay. Plus 10 divided by 5 is 2. X would divide into itself one time, so the x would take out the x. E to the 3x would take out e to the 3x. So this would be your final answer here. Okay. So as I said, this and this, they're saying the same. This is just simplifying it a little bit more. Alright. Let's look at another example. Example 3. Example 3. So this is our first function. This is u. And this is our second function. This is v. Okay. So we know u equals 3 e to the x, and v equals cos x. Okay. So du by dx equals, look at it now. The coefficient of the x here is 1. So if I take the 1 to the front here and multiply my 3e to the x, I will still get 3e to the x. Okay. Now dv by dx, when you differentiate cos, that is negative sine, so that would be negative sine x. Alright. So therefore, differentiating the entire thing here, dy by dx is equal to u dv by dx plus v du by dx. V is our first function. I mean u. Here is u. So that would be 3e to the x times dv by dx. Here is dv by dx. That is negative sine x. Plus v. Here is v. Cos x times du. Here is du. 3e to the x. Alright. So dy by dx equals 3e to the x times negative sine x. That would give us negative 3e to the x sine x. Okay. Plus 3e to the x times cos x. That would be 3e to the x cos x. Again, we can clean this up a little bit by factoring the thing that is common. Okay. So dy by dx, 3 is common, so we take out a 3. E to the x is also common. Alright. Then I have my parentheses. So this 3 into this negative 3 goes negative. Okay, the e to the x will cancel the e to the x, leaving just sine x. So this is negative sine x. The 3 will cancel the 3 here. The e to the x will cancel the e to the x here, leaving only cos x. So that would be plus cos x. And this would be your final answer here. Okay? Alright, let's look at one last example for this video. This one, again, this part here would be our u, and this part here is our v. Okay, so we know u equals sine x cubed and v equals negative 3x to the 5th minus 1. So du by dx, when you differentiate sine, you get cos, so this would be cos x cubed, but you got to differentiate this part as well, times, I'm going to take the 3 to the front, x, and I subtract 1 from that, so that would give me x squared. Okay, so if I clean this up, du by dx would equal to 3x squared times cos x cubed. That would give us 3x squared cos x cubed. Okay, and when I differentiate this part, the v by dx, that would be, I have my negative 3 here, I bring the 5 to the front, x, and I subtract 1 from the 5, so that is 4. When I differentiate a constant, that is 0. So dv by dx would equal to negative 3 times 5x to the 4th. That would give us negative 15x to the 4th. Okay? So therefore, in differentiating the entire thing, dy by dx would equal to u dv by dx plus v du by dx. Okay? U, here is u. Okay? So that would give us sine x cubed times dv by dx, which is this part here, that is negative 15x to the 4th, plus v, here is v, so that is negative 3x to the 4th, I'm sorry, negative 3x to the 5 minus 1, times du by dx, here is du by dx, so that is 3x squared cos x cubed. Alright? So let's clean this up now. So here we are. dy by dx, I'm going to bring this part to the front, so that would give me negative 15x to the 4th sine x cubed. Now I'm using this negative 3x to the 5th to multiply all of this. So negative times positive, that would give me negative 3 times 3, that is 9. X to the 5th times x squared, that would give me x to the 7th. Because we're multiplying it, bases are the same, so we add the exponent. Okay? Cos x cubed. And then negative 1 times all of this in here, that would give me negative 3x squared cos x cubed. Okay? Now, let's see if there's anything common. So dy by dx, we're going to take the thing that is common. So we're comparing negative 15, negative 9, negative 3. We realize that 3 is common. So if we take a 3 out, we're comparing x to the 4th, x to the 7th, and x squared. X squared is common. Okay? And that's the only thing that is common. Alright. So if I divide negative 15x to the 4th sine x cubed by 3x squared, when I divide the negative 15 by 3, I get negative 5 here. When I divide the x to the 4th by x squared, I get x squared here, because I subtract the 2 from this 4. Sine x cubed. Alright, let's come here now. When I divide this negative 9 by this 3, I get negative 3. When I divide the x to the 7th by x squared, I subtract the 2 from the 7 here, so I get x to the 5 cos x cubed. Alright, let's come here. When I divide this negative 3 by this 3, I get negative 1. When I divide this x squared by this x squared, take out each other, so I only have x cubed here. Okay, and this would be my final answer here. This would be my final answer. So that is my short video and the product law of differentiation. Have a fantastic day.